Hi, Derek here from Tipperary Volunteer Centre, and as promised, here's the spreadsheet that I said I'd give you that will help you probably with your managerial accounts or reporting to your boards, or look, you can even adapt it for your own personal finances if you so wish. So the workbook is made up of 4 different sheets. So there's an actual year-to-date summary sheet here, which looks at our opening balance, income and expenditure, and closing balance um, by expenditure category and income source. There's an expenditure table here, which basically we will use to build out our expenditure, an income table which we'll use to build in our income, and then we have an actual and projected spreadsheet which looks very, very like the actual year to date. The only difference is we can use this one to, I suppose, project future expenditure. It'll give us a little bit more granularity when it comes to how much room we have to play with our finances. So for example, at the start of the year, if your salaries remain constant for the year, you could basically project your salaries out to the end of the year, project out your rent to the end of the year. And the other line items that you know are fairly fixed, it might even be your insurance costs or whatever. And that'll give you, a good visible indicator of how much money you've left in the system to play with, or whether you need to reallocate budget. So I suppose one of the first things that I'll say to you is that, look, you can't make a hames of this. The spreadsheet that you're getting, this is a protected spreadsheet. It'll only allow you to change a couple of cells. So if you're not getting the results that you need, just exit out of it, close it, and start from scratch again. I will be Zooming you for 20 minutes, giving you the opportunity for 20 minutes to have an hour Zoom where I can walk through with it for your own organisation. And I'll also give you an accompanying cheat sheet that you'll use to follow the steps along that I'm going to do in this video. So it's just a guide. So first thing that we need to do is that, look, we don't have an opening balance for our accounts for this year. And where you'll find that is in income. And the opening balance tab up here, we'll just put our cell, we'll just put in €812. We'll say there was €812 and it was in our accounts on the 1st of January. That automatically populates. You can see, naturally enough, the closing balance of January will become the opening balance of February and so on. And because we have no income or expenditure, we're left with the same opening and closing balance. Now here's where you can adapt this spreadsheet to your own organizational needs, right? So the expenditure types here feed into this expenditure table. And if I just click the first one here, you can see there's a drop down. So we have salaries, supported projects, travel, rent, etc. These are the exact same names that are in these categories. So if you wanted to change salaries to wages, and we come back in here, you can actually see when you click here, it's wages. So the first thing that you'll need to do is define what your expenditure, I'll just change it back to salaries. Define what your expenditure categories are. I've given you an example here. You don't have to use them all, but they're a fairly good guide and standard for reporting, especially in organizations like the not-for-profit sector. Once we have our salary or our categories defined, what we need to do is define a budget for each, right? Now, it's just a matter of typing in that budget. So rather than go down through the process and hold you all up by typing in all these numbers, I'll just copy and paste them in. I've just saved them in another file. So I've done this arbitrary budget now, and here you go. So the budget for this organisation, this fictitious organisation, is 123,850 for the year, and it's broken down among these category types. So salaries, 70,000, etc. So all we need to do now is start putting in our expenditure, and it's as simple as coming into the expenditure tab and just typing it in. So if we said that on the 21st of the 1st, under salary, who was the payee? The payee was Derek Fanning. And what was it? So it was Derek Fanning's wages. And we just say it was €850. If you come to the actual and projected tab, you can see it's after being populated there. The total year-to-date spend based on budget is 1% of it, and the total amount is €850. You can see up here that our expenditures after being added to the top table, our closing balance so far for the month is €38. And over here we have kind of what we call spark lines, and they're just a visual reference to show you a trend in this category line item over time. So we've only January in, so there's only one data point. You won't actually see a trend. So let's, for argument's sake, let's go down now, and what we're going to do is we can do the same with the income sources that we did with the expenditure categories. So let's change these to something more, something more recognizable. So if I said that this organisation was expecting a grant of €5,000 from Tipperary County Council, we'll come into our income, and here's where we put our income. So if we said that on the 27th of January, the income source of Tipperary County Council was paid in by electronic file transfer, and it was grant to strengthen volunteering. and it was €5,000. If we come back here to the actual and projected and come up to the top, you'll see now that the income has been added for January because it came in January, and our closing balance for January based on the expenditure we have in our expenditure table is €4,962 our closing balance, right? And that becomes the opening balance. And that's how you just build out your income and expenditure. Now, I've been using the actual and projected for the simple reason I'm going to show you here now. I'm going to come in and add in, copy in some future, some current and future items that I know will be coming out of this, expenditure, basically, right? So I'm going to paste them in. Sorry about that error. So I've put in like the mobile phone bill for a couple of months down along the line, etc. My own salary for a couple of months down along the line. So if you have a look at the actual and projected, you can see that here, look, it's after being fleshed out. And you can see that number now was 6,000 or something, 4,000 not too long ago. Based on the current spend, you know, on the line items that we've projected out towards the end of the year, you know, we're going to close negatively. But if you come into your actual year-to-date expenditure, nothing has happened. There's nothing in there. And the reason being is that I wanted to give you the functionality to not only look at your actual spend, but to have a look at your future spend. So to populate this table, what you'll need to do for both income and expenditure is see this reconcile on, it's called in the expenditure one. Just come in, and if this money is gone from your bank account, just click it yes. You know, if it's gone from the bank account, click it yes. And we'll keep on doing it. And I just said, for example, if today's date was the 22nd of April, so everything up to the 21st of April, gone from the bank account. Yeah, it'll all show up on the actual year-to-date spend. Yeah, you can see based on that, like our closing balance for December is €2,849, whereas we know because we're budgeting other stuff in that it's going to be an awful lot more than that. And we can do the same with income. You know, you could put in a future income. This needs to be reconciled, yes. You do the same, so you put in your future income and it'll pop. If you don't put in, if it's not a yes, it won't appear, but it'll pop in here and you just build it out. So that's how simple as it is, folks. You just do your categories, do your budget, and come in here then and start adding your budget line items. And if you want it to appear on the actual year-to-date spend, make sure you click the yes. And if you want it to appear on the actual income, make sure that this is set to yes as well. You know, if it's set to no, it doesn't appear. You can see it there, look, where it appears here in this one. So we set that income back to yes, it'll appear. So I'll give you a cheat sheet. I'll give you time and we'll sit down and we'll get it done together. But you can see, like, you'll have a visual indicator, a one-pager, and if I just go file print, a one-pager that you can print and bring to your board meetings or whatever. We're not going to have 20 income sources, so this is going to be smaller. It'll make the table look bigger. And you'll know what percentage of your budget, I'll come back out of this, you'll know what percentage of your budget you currently have spent. In this one, you'll know what percentage of your budget you've predicted to have spent. And that'll give you a real visible indicator of how to manage your finances. So look, I hope it's useful for you. The next steps is that I'll be in contact with you and we'll arrange those one-on-ones over Zoom. We'll get this tailored to your own organisation because we do realise that you need support. Training is very, very well and good. But if I can give you something tangible that you can use in your organisation that'll make take the headache from you, we'll do all we can here at Tipperary Volunteer Centre to help you. Okay. So thanks very much for watching. And I said, look out for you get the link to this video and look out for the cheat sheet that I'll also give you, and then you'll have your one-on-one sessions and we can take it from there. Thank you.